Hello, Gold House. Today is Monday, May 18th. I am taping this the night before. I am currently in La Crosse helping out my mother-in-law. So things are a little different. Anyway, we're in the home stretch of our last essay. Today, your rough draft is due, so all 4 paragraphs. This is what it might look like. You have your intro, where you tell me what the theme is that you chose that both Raymond's Run and Stray share. Here's my example with the 3 little pigs in my side of the story. So I do one body on the 3 little pigs and how it shares the same theme. I provide evidence, and then I show my side of the story, and I provide evidence that supports my claim, and then I have the conclusion. So today what I want to show you is that we're not finished yet. What we have to do is revise. And so what I'm going to share with you today is this document that tells you exactly what you can do when revising. Now, this is not spelling, grammar, punctuation errors. We're looking at moving big things, adding more stuff, and really looking at it critically to see what else can we do to our essay to make it sound even more professional. So bullet point number 1, look for ways to use literary language, so sound like a big shot. All of these words in blue are some examples of words that story writers use, authors use to sound important. So I have a couple of examples. Instead of saying Will, the main character, you could say Will, the protagonist in the story. Instead of saying the problem in the story, you could say the conflict in the story. Instead of saying Will barged into his mother's room without knocking, you could try saying Will managed to change the mood of the story. Remember, mood is the feeling that we have while we are reading the story. Tone is when we're getting a tone from the author. The author wanted us to feel that tone. So you could try to incorporate some literary language in your story. Reread to think, where could I add that? The second bullet, you're going to comb through your evidence. Use your best magnifying glass. So bottom line, are the pieces of evidence that you chose to put in your essay the best ones from the story to support your claim? They might be great pieces of evidence for something else, but do they match your theme that you picked? Or are there better ones out there? Or can you add even more examples to support your claim? Okay, so really go through those 2 body paragraphs and figure out, do I have enough evidence? Is it really the best? The third bullet point, using transitional words and phrases, both external and internal. Again, external are the ones that are at the very beginning or at the very end of your paragraph. And internal, they're inside the body paragraph that help link our ideas together. That's this one right here. Here are some examples that you could pick from. You can also Google transitional phrases or words, and you'll get a ton of ideas from there. And the last one, can you just please check the organization of your ideas? Does the order of how you put your ideas together make sense? Okay. And if not, we need to move that furniture around, as Mrs. Sharp tells us. So revising requires you to reread the essay and look carefully at, how can I make this sound even better? Okay, you can't just say, oh, yep, it looks good. I've got 4 paragraphs. I'm done. Please double check that we're trying to add things to make it sound even better. And one point, the conclusion, I will also attach this in the assignment for today. But make sure that you talk about the life lesson that you learned and leave your readers with something to think about. Maybe that's relative to their own life and their own relationships. So here's my original document. Okay, I want you to focus on this body paragraph. And I'm going to show you how I went through and I just changed it by using some transitional phrases as well as literary language. So in red is the transitional phrases that I added, and in blue are the literary pieces of language that I used. So in the fairy tale Three Little Pigs, the author shows us that in life problems arise and we have to try to solve them or bad things will happen in the beginning of the story. That's a transitional phrase that I used and I kept. I wanted to keep that. The first pig used straw, which wasn't very sturdy. The first pig had to flee his home when the wolf came and it blew down. Furthermore, okay, so I'm adding a transitional phrase or transitional word that I didn't use before. I just went right into the second pig. Okay, so that one little word is helping me link ideas together. The second little pig built a home made of sticks, which seems a little stronger than straw, but failed to withstand the wolf's hot air. This pig too had to flee his home. The mood of the story is a feeling of doom. Everyone's going to die until, okay, so that's totally different from my original. Until the third little pig built his home of solid bricks, making it the sturdiest of the three homes. Another piece of literary language, as the protagonist was hosting his brothers to a celebratory dinner. Hosting his brothers, that's just plural, to a celebratory dinner. The wolf came knocking once more. Okay, so this is something that I chose to use to make it sound a little bit more professional. I then say in the end, and one more piece of literary language. From my perspective, the lesson is clear in life. Characters struggle with problems and work hard to solve them. So as you can see, I did some rearranging. I did chunks of words that I'm hoping make me sound a little bit more professional. I need to go through and double check. Is the evidence that I provided really strong enough to support this theme that I chose? And if so, keep it in. If not, get rid of it. And if it is, but there's others that you can use, go ahead and add more evidence. And that will make your argument strong. So today, the bottom line is you are revising. You are going to be looking at this document and trying to make those adjustments to your own document. Once you're done with that today, will you please share it? No, don't share it. No sharing today. I'm going to assume that you will be working on that. If you want me to look at it, please share it with me. But this essay will be due on Wednesday. You will do final editing on Tuesday. All right. So be looking for what you have to turn in. Normally, reading log and your journal entry that you will turn in. But as far as the rough draft, you do not have to share it with me unless you want me to look at it. All right. That's it for today. I will be around my computer all day. So Let me know if you need help. 9:20 and 1:40 are my Google Meets. Just go to the icon and type in Gold ELA and join us. See you then.